Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want to go ahead and apologize to you because you are going to feel dirty by the end of this video. And I've got so much that I may have to break this up into 2 videos today, but we shall see. But I promise you, if you have a half of a moral compass out there, you will feel dirty by the end of this video, and you will be disgusted too. Okay, so that's a thumbnail, dirty and disgusted. Let me write that down. Dirty and disgusted. All right, here we go. There was a price bump on XRP last 24 hours, and it kind of has pulled back and all that. I don't know, but I think that the reason that there's been a price bump is because there's going to be that solo airdrop on Christmas Eve. And I think there's probably people that are buying XRP and positioning it to be able to get a piece of the airdrop and all that stuff. I was going to try to participate in it. Not really sure if I'm going to or not. I mean, look, for me, I've said it before on this channel. I am not here to try to get rich. I'm here to create a dynasty, and I don't chase green candles. And unless there's something significant, I don't chase airdrops either. And when I say significant, it's got to be something significant for me to move my XRP anywhere. It's going to take some real significance, as in like a 1-for-1 for every XRP you own, or at least like a 0.2 for every XRP you own. But that's not what I see with that yet. Now, that doesn't mean I won't participate some, but anyway, that's my 2 cents. And I'm not telling you what to do. That's up to every individual to decide that. I know what I hold. I repeat, I know exactly what I hold in XRP. And to move it around and try to get this and get that, it's just not my thing. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be your thing. Maybe it is your thing. Go for it. Okay, now, I wanted to show this Dark Defender. Hi there all. I hope you're well. XRP is an accumulation as we discussed. Supports are 75 cents and 65 cents. Targets $2.66 and $13 are still valid. He has been sticking with those numbers for a long time. And I like it. I love it when I like that a chart person is that doesn't see anything that's changed in their mind as far as where all this is. They think it's headed. Technically, daily charts indicate XRP is in an oversold area. The weekly chart's waiting for a buy signal. All right. Okay. Now I wanted to make everybody aware. BitPay, which is a big crypto company. BitPay is going to be added a link to tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is what they said. They are they're almost sold out of Ripple now. Ripple will be fully subscribed probably within today. There wasn't much at all left. They've fully subscribed on Kraken. They got some Uphold. They got some link to, but all those, I focus on those because they're blockchain related. Now it's time for you to feel dirty, creeped out, disgusted, furious. So get ready, because here it comes. First thing from James Rule. This is a letter to Ted Budd, one of a congressman, okay, from Jay Clayton. All right, I draw your attention to this down. And remember that Clayton and all of them that have always said, and the SEC to this day, that Bill Hinman's Ethereum free pass speech was just his opinion. So you wouldn't reference that, especially not when you're sending something to a congressman to tell him where you stand. The Dow report included detailed legal analysis applying Howey to facts and circumstances specific to Dow tokens. Additionally, as your letter notes, Bill Hinman, Director of Division of Corporate Finance, delivered a speech in June 2018 that outlined factors for market participants to consider when evaluating whether a digital asset is a security. What he did not say, Bill Hinman, Director of Division of Corporate Finance, delivered a speech in June 2018 that was his personal opinion, and so you, Congressman, should not factor that into your thinking at all, because that's not our position. It's not the SEC's position, not my position. That was Bill Hinman's personal opinion, and therefore I shouldn't even be writing to you, a sitting congressman, to give it anyway, because it was just his personal opinion. All right. That's the start of how dirty you're going to feel. Now, let's go on. Now, do you remember a little thing called Bernie Madoff? Because I believe this is completely significant in today. And it was reminded to me by this guy, JV, this weekend. And as a result of seeing his post here, I went and put together a couple of my own little videos. Now, this is JV. Go give him a follow. It's at JV the Great. He's one of the guys that started to find some great video. If you remember, back during Bernie Madoff, it was the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the United States that was discovered. But there was one guy, this guy right here, Harry Markopolos, I think that's how you say that name. He had made the SEC aware for years leading up to the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. And then later, Bernie Madoff turned himself in. Nobody ever went after him. He turned himself in, and the SEC supposedly just missed it. But if you watch a lot of these clips and the video of this guy talking, of Harry Markopolos and all, if you watch it, you can tell just reading between the lines that I don't think they missed anything. I think that's what they told everybody. But let's just watch a little bit of what happened back during that time and what some other people have to say about this and other things. All right, here's Bill Posey, who's a Florida congressman back then.
Instead of forcing agendas on companies, the SEC should be focused on protecting investors, maintaining fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitating capital formation. The SEC let Bernard Madoff run free for 10 years, a decade, while he evaporated $70 billion worth of people's life savings and hard-earned money. They were asleep at the switch. They were busy doing something else like this. Their job is to protect investors, and that's the intent of this amendment. I urge my colleagues.
I don't think they were asleep at the switch at all. I think that's the narrative. But listen, the reason I'm showing you this is because just like back then, there's a big difference. Back then, Harry Markopolos was trying to tell them, and he was submitting things to the SEC, and he made them aware of it like something like 5 to 7 times, over and over and over. Here's the difference this time. This time, it's social media. And it's not just the SEC who's been made aware of the Ethereum free pass and the whole Jake Clayton saga and everything else that John Deaton suing them and John Deaton showing all the facts. These aren't like question marks. These are facts. Video. We've got a timeline. We've got everything. Okay? This time, they're not going to be able to say that they didn't know. And it's not just the SEC. We've made the media, Congress, and it's not one of us. It's not 2 of us. There are thousands of us that are putting things out there to let them know what has happened. They're not going to be able to act like they didn't know anything. They just missed it. Not this time. So let's keep watching. We want to see a few other things. Let's watch. I think this is the one I wanted to show.
It's the SEC.
No, but what you could. And the SEC, which is part of Wall Street, is totally corrupt. And has been ever since Joe Kennedy was the first commissioner of the SEC's first chairman of the SEC. Most people don't know that. They figured, we'll put the fox in charge of the henhouse and nobody will be able to get away with anything because he knows all the tricks. Well, that lasted a few years and Joe quit and went back to his brokerage firm.
All right. Well, a lot of people didn't know that. But listen to this.
It seems to me that somewhere along the way, that guy's boss would have noticed he wasn't doing anything. And that's the astonishing part, that this could go on and people just apparently didn't even notice.
Well, it's part of the culture of a lot of bureaucracies to not push to get jobs done, to make sure that the taxpayers' money are spent wisely. and changing the environment in some of these agencies is very, very difficult.
That's a question. Do we start with hear no evil, see no evil, or do no evil? Take your pick. I only have 5 minutes. Someone better start.
Let me start with enforcement. As I said, we did an investigation we began an investigation in 2006, and it was closed without action.
Why was it closed without action? What did you investigate? What methodology did you use?
And if in the interest
Were you suspicious when a guy had a one-man accounting firm investigating a $50 billion empire? And you keep saying alleged. This guy confessed on national television, you might have noticed.
And as I said, our objective is to actually hold him accountable in a court of law, bearing our
You
burden
missed
of
your
proof.
chance.
We have a pending in the Southern District of New York.
You took action after the guy confessed. He turned himself in. Don't give yourself any pat on the back for that.
And Congressman, every time.
Why didn't you find him is the question.
I understand your question, and we cannot answer as to the specifics. I can talk generally.
You know, if anybody made the case better than Mr. Markopoulos, and I didn't think anybody could, about you people being completely inept, you've made the case better than him.
Well, sir, I am sorry you feel that way.
Being generous.
Profoundly.
I think I'm reflecting what the American public feels. How are they supposed to have confidence that if somebody goes to you with a complaint, gives it to you on a silver platter, with all of the investigation, with all of the numbers, with all of the data, telling you exactly what he did, how he did it, and why he did it, and how he knows that, and after a period...
Okay. That's important. Then there's several videos he's got here where they're all just, listen to this guy. This is a guy's with the SEC.
The proceedings going on. There are personal rights at stake. There's the integrity of the investigation.
We wouldn't be in this mess if you people did your
job. That's why we've asked the committee.
No, we're asking you. We are asking you.
Investigations to allow them to proceed.
Could you cite whatever authority you're citing and have cited?
I'd be delighted. I'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy to talk.
Because you have a right not to answer our questions under the Constitution's Fifth Amendment procedure. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a citizen, though.
Talk to your lawyers.
I'm a frustrated citizen.
Happy to give the references to you or to your lawyer.
I'm listening. Give us the references.
There's a very important opinion from Attorney General Robert Jackson in 1941, where he explained...
Does that name sound familiar?
The need to discharge the constitutional and statutory obligations of the executive branch.
All right, I'm not going to make you listen to any more of that, but here's where we want to go now. So, I put this video together. Do you remember that time? And this was all inspired. I want to make sure I'm giving proper credit here. JV inspired me to even go down this road. And that's what's great about this decentralized XRP community, army, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Because none of us know each other. These are people that smell something that's it's at this point, it's way beyond fishy. This is some downright dirty stuff now. So against the backdrop of what I just showed you, what you're going to see in this video, the guy right here at the front, he was a whistleblower. You know, now, today, all we ever see on Twitter is that the SEC's bragging about how they paid this whistleblower this much and this, and we're blowing the whistle louder than anyone because there's thousands of us. We're blowing the whistle. They're ignoring us. They're not going to be able to do what they did on this Bernie Madoff thing. They're not going to be able to sit there in front of Congress and say that they didn't know and they just missed this. They didn't miss it. They know exactly what we're talking about, and I'm going to show you more of it today. So watch this video, and you all have to remember, Bernie Madoff ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history for years, right under the SEC's nose, while they were warned over and over. He turned himself in, and the SEC was called inept. They won't be able to have that excuse this time. The world is watching. Here we go, right here. Watch this.
And honored by colleagues as the...
This is the guy who was trying to blow the whistle on Bernie Madoff, Harry Markopoulos.
Who went to the Securities and Exchange Commission and blew the whistle on Bernie Madoff and his $50 billion fraud.
How many times did you send material to the SEC?
May 2000.
October 2001, October, November, and December 2005, then again June 2007, and finally April 2008. So 5 separate SEC submissions.
But something did happen. Corruption. They were meeting, remember this, they were meeting with their previous clients while at the SEC. Clients with very strong interests in outcomes that they ruled over in their government posts. Hinman even continued to earn $15 million from his previous law firm the whole 3 years he was at the SEC. You're either a horrible lawyer who can't see the conflict of interest, or you don't care because you're horribly corrupt. So you've got the skills or the moral compass, but you can't do this and have both. And when you're pulling in $5 million a year, odds are it's not the skills they're missing. And that is the bigger story of what is going on with the SEC and Ripple. It's not about cryptocurrency. It's not about about Ripple. It is about the SEC, specifically corruption and regulatory capture.
A person can buy from any number of different identities. We may limit the size, the unit size of a sale, just to make it easier to disguise. So if you are a whale, if you want to plan on investing several million US dollars worth, then you can do that for multiple identities.
All right, so there's that, and then we've got this. Okay, I also did this clip, and I quoted John Deaton. He says we really need to find out who made huge bets long on Ethereum between March and June of 2018 and shorted XRP the same period. Okay, so let's talk this through. I want to make sure you understand crystal clear. What John's talking about is June 14th, 2018 is when Bill Hinman gave the Ethereum free pass speech. Okay, what he wants to know is who were placing large bets on Ethereum during that time. And he also wants to know who shorted XRP during that time, because XRP was not going to get a pass. And then it was going to be pointed out on stage that XRP wasn't mentioned. Then later XRP is going to be sued. And so we would also want to know who shorted XRP leading up to the lawsuit that Jay Clayton dropped too. Okay, so I had created this video, The Financial Story of the Century Awaits, and I'm copying all these guys in who I think are good people that might pick up on this, and if they do, it's game over. Okay, any of these guys in this thing up here, not the squawk box and them, but any of these guys pick up on this, and this is game over. Like Joe Rogan or a Charles Gasparino's already helping, Glenn Beck or Tucker Carlson or Charles Payne's kind of touched it a little bit. But anyway, you tell me when you watch this that this isn't worthy of investigation.
The Ethereum team is really one of the most remarkable that I've ever had the privilege of working on. It's a wonderful mix of both old and new. There's some senior software developers, people who work for Goldman Sachs off Wall Street.
I would say that hundreds of people suspected something was amiss with the Madoff operation. If you look at who the victims were not, you'll notice that the major firms on Wall Street had no money with Mr. Madoff.
I mean, you write this is the letter, I'm quoting from the letter to the Securities and Exchange Commission, red flag number 20. Madoff is suspected of being a fraud by some of the world's largest, most sophisticated financial services firms. And then you list some of the firms.
Yes, I do.
The biggest firms on Wall Street, and conversations with people high up in those firms.
That is correct. And the SEC ignored that.
Did they call any of these people?
All the SEC had to do was pick up the phone. They never did.
If you had executives at the biggest investment houses in Wall Street that knew something was wrong, why do you think they didn't go to the SEC?
Because people in glass houses don't throw stones, and self-regulation on Wall Street doesn't work.
I'm not going to make you listen to that whole thing again, but I think you get the picture. Okay. And then I shouted out Harry. This is Harry Markopoulos, the guy from the Bernie Madoff thing. And I shouted him out and asked him if he would mind taking a look at John Deaton's timeline, because these are the facts and they're not in dispute. And that guy knows what he's doing. I want to finish with this because I was trying to make a point. As many of you know, Coinbase, it has received, because I've seen the screenshots where their wallet did receive the Songbird tokens, and they not only have they not let the people like us, anybody who's got Songbird, receive it if they had any XRP on that platform, but they haven't even responded to anyone and given them any kind of real answers on why they're not. So the question then remains, well, Coinbase received the Songbird, and what are they doing with it? First of all, are they selling it? Are they keeping it? Are they did they burn? I don't even know if they can burn it, but what did they do with it? If they're not giving it to the rightful owners, what did they do with it? But the bigger question is this, and this is what I typed out. Tax question. Coinbase received the Songbird tokens and did not distribute them to the rightful owners or respond to them. Do they have constructive receipt for tax purposes, and do they owe the IRS ordinary income tax? And some people misunderstood that. What I was asking is, does Coinbase, if Coinbase owes tax on it, not if we owe tax. I know we don't owe tax because we haven't had constructive receipt of those tokens. We certainly don't because we never had constructive receipt. Coinbase might. Did they sell it? What have they done with past airdrops they didn't distribute? Because this is another question. There's been other airdrops in the past that Coinbase has not distributed to the people who it's supposed to go to. So, what do they have? Is the IRS looking into that? All we ever wanted was them to just see. Here's the thing: they can't blame it, and this is part of the reason that this sticks in my craw. They can't. Coinbase cannot blame this on XRP's in a lawsuit, and so we can't distribute your Songbird. You're allowed to, even though the SEC lawsuit's going on, you're allowed to receive, my understanding is you're allowed to receive XRP in your Coinbase account, and you're allowed to send it. You can't trade it because of the lawsuit. What's the difference in Songbird? They could still give us our Songbird and not let us trade it, but they're not doing that. So I'm not buying all this, but this is a legit question right here for Coinbase. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Coinbase has not even told us about our Songbird, much less given it to us, and it's ours.